Hello friends, what's up? I am Satyanarayan, a 2019 batch IPS, and as you all know, India is having border disputes with not just one, two, but three of its neighbors, and the latest in news is Nepal. So in this particular video, we will see the history of the border dispute between Nepal and India, and it is particularly with respect to the Kalapani area. So we have heard this name in the news several times. So let's try to understand in the next 15 to 20 minutes that what is this particular issue and what are all the dimensions of this border dispute. So this week Nepal, their parliament passed a constitutional amendment and they released a new map of its territories. So this new map, it is showing Kalapani area in the territory of Nepal. Okay, so India has criticized this move from the Nepal, and they have said that this is a unilateral act and it is not based on the historical facts and evidences. So this is the brief introduction of this issue. Now we will see which is the particular area which is contested. So first of all, if you see in this map, so this is Nepal and this is Uttarakhand area and this is Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so this is a screenshot of the border between India and Nepal. So this is particularly the border and this is the area which is known as Kalapani. Okay, so this is the contested area which I have just earmarked here. So the battle is over the historical accuracy of the geographical territory, and it has been brewing between these two countries for the past several decades now. Okay, so it is not just a new dispute, it has been there for the past several decades. Okay, so the bone of contention between the two countries is the Kalapani, Limpiadura and Lipulek tri-junction. Okay, so this is this tri-junction between India, Nepal and China. Okay, uh, then this is located on the bank which is name is Kali. Okay, so the river Kali, which is situated at an altitude of around 3600 meter, and this Kalapani territory lies is the in the eastern sector of the Uttarakhand. You can see this is the eastern sector of Uttarakhand and Nepal's Sudur Paschim Pradesh in the west. Okay, so this is Nepal's Sudur Paschim Pradesh. Okay, so we are now clear that which area is particularly contested. Now we will see the history of it. So India claims the area is a part of Uttarakhand's Pithoragarh district. Okay, while Nepal says that ये जो है हमारा दारचूला डिस्ट्रिक्ट का पार्ट है. ओके, सो दोनों कंट्रीज जो है इस एरिया को अपनी अपनी टेरिटरी में क्लेम करती है. ओके, एंड दिस मैटर कम टू अ बॉयल अर्लियर दिस ईयर व्हेन इंडिया ओपनड एन 80 किलोमीटर रोड लिंकिंग उत्तराखंड विथ लिपू लेक. सो लास्ट ईयर or early this year, the border road organization BRO, they constructed an 80-kilometer road linking Uttarakhand and Lipu Lake, and उसके बाद जो है वो Nepal government contested that, and now this is a full red hot dispute. Okay, and it is with respect to this particular piece of land. So the territory is of strategic importance for both the countries. Okay, and the issue is complicated by the contest over the historicity of the cartographic evidences. यानी कि जो जब भी now we will see in the next slides that India and Nepal, they signed a land deal. Okay, when the Britishers attacked Nepal, that we'll see in just few seconds. So after that, the British India, they issued some maps. Okay, and on those maps, these map evidences, the dispute is with respect to these maps. Okay, so because of that, both the sides claim to this area. Okay, and they say that उनका जो claim है वो ज़्यादा accurate है. Okay, so the issue itself goes back to the 19th century. Okay, early 19th century, when the the Britishers ruled India, and Nepal was a conglomeration of small kingdoms under the reign of King Prithvi Narayan Shah. Okay, so here is the picture of King Prithvi Narayan Shah, and Nepal was like a conglomeration of small kingdoms. So this particular ruler of Nepal, he united all the territories of the Nepal in the late 18th century and early 19th century. So its domain stretched out at that point of time as far as Sikkim in the east and the Gadwal and Kumaon region of Uttarakhand in the west. So present में जो Gadwal and Kumaon region है, they were part of this Nepalese kingdom at one point of time. Okay, then what is the relation of India? Sorry, British. We are particularly referring to the British India because at that point of time India was ruled by the Britishers and Nepal. Okay, so by the second decade of the 18th century, the English East India Company, we all know that they had a formidable presence in the Indian subcontinent. उन्होंने अपनी जड़ें मजबूत कर ली थी, and they had strengthened their main bases in Madras, Calcutta and Bombay, so which we all know. And by the early 19th century, the East India Company, they began expanding its territories northwards. Okay, so first in Awadh, and उसके बाद जब और north में they started expanding their territories, so they came in close proximity with Palpa. So this Palpa is an independent town, sorry, it was an independent town within the Nepalese heartlands. Okay, so this town was in the Nepalese territory. So soon after, a border dispute arose between the Nepal and the British India. These are the two powers. So the Nepalese were proving to be a hindrance to realize the trade ambitions with the तिब्बत. ओके, सो उस टाइम पे जो तिब्बत था उसके साथ ट्रेड करने के लिए जो ब्रिटिशर्स जो चाहते थे, उसमें नेपाल जो है वो दे वर प्रूविंग टू बी अ हिंड्रेंस. So finally, on 1st November 1814, the Britishers declared a war on Nepal, and which went on for the next 2 years, involving a series of campaigns. Okay, so in 1814, Britishers they attacked Nepal, and the war went on for 2 years. And in 1815, the British general named David Ochterlony, he managed to evict the Nepalese from the Gadwal in the Kumayu region. So we have seen in the map कि कौन सा जो region है वो गढ़वाल and कुमायूं है. Now this is the map of the British India and the Nepal during the treaty which was signed in 1860 between this Nepal and India. So this was the area which was administered by the Britishers, and this was the Nepal territory. And these all areas जो यहाँ पे थोड़ा ग्रे एरिया में दिखाया गया है, including the Gadwal and Kumayu districts, this is now part of Uttarakhand state of India, and this is capital of Uttarakhand, Dehradun, and also this is Sikkim. Okay, so these all areas including this Morung area, this was ceded by the Nepalese to the Britishers as a part of agreement with respect to their Treaty of Sugali. Okay, and now let's see what is the contest over the history of the maps. Okay, so the two Nepalese geographers, though Nepalese geographer, they claim that since no map attached with the Sugali Treaty countersigned by both the agreeing parties has come to light, the only way to ascertain the correct location of Kali is to examine the existing maps of that period. Okay, so because जो सुगाली ट्रीटी थी उसके साथ कोई मैप अटैच नहीं किया गया था, इसके लिए जो नेपाली जोग्राफर्स है वो कहते हैं कि जो बेस्ट पोजीशन होगी असर्टेन करने की कि कौन सी जगह पे जो रिवर काली है, तो उसके लिए जो बेस्ट तरीका होगा या जो कौन सा बॉर्डर डिसाइड करेंगे उसके लिए बेस्ट तरीका होगा कि जो उस टाइम पे जो मैप थे उनको देखा जाए. ओके, but the problem is that till 1857 all the maps produced by the British cartographers, they suggest the origin of Kali river lies in the Limpiadhura pass. Okay, but in the period between 1857 and 1881, this is claimed by these geographers कि 1857 से 1881 के बीच में a subtle but deliberate attempt to misname the river Kali got underway. Okay, so Britishers they deliberately wanted to misname this river, and they also claim that the cartographic move on the part of British was unauthorized, unilateral, and without any agreement with the government of Nepal. So this is the claim of Nepal side, and the dispute over the location of the river and consequently that of the territoriality of the Kalapani was first raised by the Nepalese government only in 1998. Okay, so till 1998 there was no issue with respect to the border dispute, but after this time the Nepal has been saying that Kalapani is part of their territory. And even when the Indian military units occupied the Kalapani area during the Sino-Indian War of 1962, जब 1962 में चाइना और इंडिया के बीच में वॉर हुआ था, उस टाइम पे भी जो कालापानी एरिया है that was occupied by the Indian military, but उस टाइम पे भी जो नेपाल ने objection raise नहीं किया. Okay, and the Nepal virtually ignored the Kalapani issue since from 1961 to 1997, but for the domestic political reasons it became a convenient India-Nepal controversy in 1998. It is written by a political scientist. Okay. Now, accordingly to the Nepalese government, they contended that the western border of the country to be shifted 5.5 kilometers westward to coincide with the borders as decided by the Treaty of Sugali. So Nepal जो है वो they have shifted their border 5.5 kilometer westwards India की तरफ, जबकि जो इंडिया में officials हैं they are saying that to point out the particular location of the river Kali and to find out the true location of the map, we should refer to the revenue records at that point of time in 1830s, and these revenue records shows Kalapani has been a part of or traditionally been administered as a part of Pithoragarh district. Okay, so जो इंडियन ऑफिशियल्स है वो ये कह रहे हैं कि जब कालापानी एरिया जो है वो पिथौरागढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट का पार्ट था और उसी के द्वारा एडमिनिस्टर किया गया था, so this should be the part of Indian territory. Okay, and one Indian scholar, he explains that the British India conducted the first regular surveys of the upper reaches of the river Kali in 1870s only. Okay, so accordingly a vintage map was released in 1879 shows Kalapani as the part of India. Okay, so जो 1879 में ब्रिटिशर्स ने जो मैप रिलीज किया था, that was part of the India. So the Indian government has held that 1879 मैप जो है उसी को ही कंसिडर किया जाना चाहिए to decide the dispute between both these countries, and these differences amount in reality to the differences in the map that each country possesses, which is further exacerbated by the shifting course of Mahakali river in the area that was accepted by the boundary. So ये दो मेन कारण है कि एक तो जो है वो मैप्स में इसकी पर्टिकुलरली लोकेशन सही तरीके से मार्क की हुई नहीं है, और दूसरा जो ये काली रिवर है उसकी लोकेशन जो है वो भी, या जो इसका कोर्स है वो भी शिफ्ट होता रहता है. So these are the two issues which the Indian and the Nepalese government have to settle down, and in the course of the last several decades they have tried to sort out these issues, but they have not been able to do so, and we hope that through diplomatic channels both the countries will be able to reach to a negotiations के through जो India and Nepal है, they will find out a solution. So this was all about the history of the Kalapani area and its claim by both the countries. नेपाल भी कहता है कि वो हमारे एरिया में है because ब्रिटिशर्स ने जानबूझ के मैप गलत बनाए थे, while India says कि जब 1830s के बाद में जो भी मैप हैं और 1879 का भी जो ब्रिटिशर्स द्वारा रिलीज किया हुआ मैप है, that this Kalapani area is part of Indian territory, so it should be in India. So I hope that you have understood this particular topic, and I request you to like this video, share it with your other friends, and please give a comment or write down a comment in the comment section that how much you have understood this particular topic, and what is your opinion about this particular topic, which you can write in the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice day.